Hey everyone, we are going to now move on to our next skill, which is finding the power of a power. And this is considered another law of an exponent. And when you talk about finding the power of something, it usually means you're raising a base to an exponent. So this would be raising something that already has an exponent to an exponent. So to illustrate this, I want to show you guys something to show you kind of the need for this. So supposing I have this. Supposing I have 2 to the third. It'd be nice if it would stay. I don't know what's going on here, but this is pretty wild. So let's try this again. Supposing I have 2 to the third times 2 to the third times 2 to the third. Hopefully you guys see where this is going. Times 2 to the third times 2 to the third times 2 to the third. All right, this is completely annoying, right? So we should realize by now that what we've got here, what we've got going on here, right, is we've got a bunch of repeated factors, except this time the factor contains an exponent. So who's to say we can't take these factors and rewrite this using an exponent as well? So what I'm suggesting is that you can rewrite this as 2 to the third. This is basically has become my base, but in this case the base contains an exponent, and then we are going to raise it to the power of how many times it was repeated. Well, it was repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, right? And so you've got this going on, right? Now, if I said, hey, I want you to figure out how do I simplify that? What do I do with that? Okay, how would I figure out exactly what 2 to the third to the seventh power is? All right, and that's where this law of exponents thing comes in, because there's obviously there's another way you could do it, and so if we sit and we look at this, right, and I say, okay, well, I'm going to take this, and I know that I've got 2 to the third. I'm going to erase some of... No, I'm not. Leave this here. So I've got 2 to the third times 2 to the third times 2 to the third times 2 to the third, all right? So we decided to rewrite it as this, but let's just ignore this for now, right? Let's just take this and let's just pretend we don't have that. So if I've got this 2 to the third times itself 7 times, basically I know from existing laws of exponents that I can just add all the exponents. So I would basically take and go, well, I've got 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And you're adding 3 how many times? That would be 7, right? So if I add 3 7 times, I get 21. This is also the same thing as multiplying, right? And so there's a connection there, right? And I want you to think about that. And so we have 2 to the 21st power is what 2 to the third to the seventh is. Now, we figured that out the long way, and the power of a power rule helps us figure this out a much faster way. And I think hopefully you're sort of going to have some intuition about this from just watching me do this. And what the power of a power rule says is to find the power of a power, multiply the exponents. All right? And so if we look at this, right, what that means, okay, is I'm taking this situation where I had 2 to the third to the seventh power, and instead of going through all that nonsense I did, I'm taking this outside exponent and I'm multiplying it by that inside exponent. Now I'm not adding it, I'm multiplying it. Okay, so that becomes 2 to the, and I'm going to go 3 times 7. So that would then give me, for a final answer, that would give me 2 to the 21st power. All right? Which, if we go back, is what we got right here when we did it this big, long, convoluted way. So I would say that finding it this way is much faster. Okay? So basically the power of a power rule states that whenever you have something that is being raised to the power, you can just take your exponents and multiply them by each other. All right, and there will be some example videos on how to do this right after this.